Welcome, we are Local Geeks. It's not the Epic Nerdcast, this is actually just a video review. I'm Atlas, this is Nosto.
How's it going?
Nosto here is going to help us out reviewing our first e-cigarette. We do have more of these coming. The Yeti 510, so this is actually going to be really cool. We're going to review this. Make sure to check us out on our website. You can view this on YouTube. We have a Twitter account. We have a Facebook account. We have our website, localgeeks.blogspot.com. We have an email address on there. We all play video games, and we're pretty big nerds, so this should be pretty cool, and you guys should all be very interested in this because smoking's cool.
Yep. And by the way, Yeti 510 brought to you by altsmoke.com. That's our supplier, I guess you could say.
Right, altsmoke.com supplies the Yeti 510. Well, let's jump into it. Tell us what vaping is, and while you talk, I'm going to sit back here and smoke this thing and try it out.
All right. Well, the proper term for using a personal vaporizer is vaping, not smoking, because it is not smoke, it is vapor.
Smoking is not cool, vaping's cool.
Vaping is cool. Say no to smoke. Vaping is basically a personal vaporizer, which is what this is. It's a portable personal vaporizer, and basically it's just something that you can use to substitute or add to your smoking experience, and maybe even help kick the habit, but we can't claim it's a cessation device. So that's basically the sum of what it is. So...
What is this? There are several parts here, and this one actually has a button on it. What's this made out of?
Okay, so this is a unit. I'm going to kind of pull it up, and then I'm going to disassemble it. So this is what the unit looks like, fully assembled. Pull it back here. This is the cartridge. If you look inside, there is a white cottony material, and this is plastic. The next piece is made of a metal piece. It has a heating unit. I'm going to try and angle it so you can see inside.
It's like a coil.
It's like a coil, and then it's a male unit, and then it connects to the battery. As you can see, mine has a button. Mine is manual. And basically, assembly is really quick. You just screw that in, pop the cartridge in, full of liquid. The liquid is a pharmaceutical food grade of propylene glycol, flavorings, nicotine, and the ranges of content are anywhere from 0 to 36 milligrams per milliliter. So
of nicotine.
Of nicotine, right. So you can have
not
a
THC.
Right, not a THC, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Legally stay, yes. Anyway, so basically the way it works is you push this button on mine. Some are generated by just the sound of you inhaling. That'll actually trigger it. It heats up the atomizer, which is the middle piece, and creates, basically you're creating a wind tunnel. It's pulling the vapor slowly across it and the juice across it, and it turns into vapor, and then you inhale. Just like a cigarette. So
that's very logical. I understand that's the best description you've given so far. The coil heats the liquid, which causes it to vaporize, and then you inhale it. Now, so we know what it is. We know how it works. We know how it works. What is this model from altsmoke.com? Why did you go with this one?
Basically, I'm one of those guys that does 40 hours of research before he purchases anything. And there's an e-cigarette forum. There's a lot of people giving in-depth reviews. There's a lot of other video reviews that you can find on YouTube where people basically review them. I use the cigarette forum as my hub to find the models. And after I researched everything, I determined that this is the one that I really liked. For one, the manual switch is very nice because it won't initiate if it's in your pocket. Anything along those lines, basically you have more control, and I want more control of it when it's on, when it's off. There are a couple characteristics to look into when you're out there. Check out, the first thing you want to look into is vapor production. That's going to be the actual fog that comes out when you take a hit. This one, in my opinion, provides excellent vapor production, and the overall throat hit, that's the next characteristic of a vaporizer, is really smooth but not too smooth. You still feel like you're inhaling something when you're taking in the vapor. There are some models that get characterized as low throat hit, low vapor production, and we can go into that. We're going to have several reviews, but this one right here overall is great. The juice flavor is not overpowering. I've heard that some units it tastes like horribly overpowering, so that you're not really you're just tasting that. Some people like that. I'm not a fan. I want something that's not necessarily got a strong flavor.
That's a lot of stuff too. I mean, think about it, how and where you're going to be using it, because you're right, you have vapor production, you have, if you're going to have it in your pocket, you might want to think about if the wind's going to turn it on and drain your battery, how long the battery's going to last, because I know a lot of them have different battery times. And then, like you said, the throat hit, for me not being a smoker, you know, I would like that one maybe with a smoother, lower throat hit and maybe more of the juice flavor.
Correct.
But yeah, so definitely all things to think about, not only when you're buying your e-cigarette, but also when you're choosing your flavors. I mean, I wouldn't buy the Marlboro flavor. And the other test ones we ordered, I ordered ultra low nicotine content because I'm not a heavy smoker, so hopefully I won't get that.
Right.
Now, what's the size? Do you have a normal cigarette on you that we could compare?
Actually, I think I left it in the car.
That's okay.
But check this out. This is actually a really quick size comparison. This right here, without the cartridge itself, is about the size of a cigarette. So for you smokers out there, it adds it on. It makes it like maybe a couple, like half a centimeter longer than a 100.
But now, are the automatic batteries? I think they're shorter.
They typically are. And also, like I said, you got to look into your units, because there are some units that do have manual switches, but the battery will be smaller, might not last as long. There are a lot more things to this, you know, and you know, those girls that like to hide it up their cooch or whatever, you know, you might want to look for a smaller unit.
Or bigger, depending on the girl.
Yeah, you never know, like hot dog and hallway syndrome or whatever. But yeah, you can get several sizes. There are some that look like kazoos. I tend to stick to the brands that look more like cigarettes.
Now, we have both done extensive research on the e-cigarette forum, which you can Google it. And this was by far not the most popular, but this is what you decided to go with. The reason that I like this one after looking at their website, and it's actually a really good site, is the price. The price and the content, the value, I guess, of what you get. You don't get as many like charging accessories, but you got 2 full e-cigarettes.
Right.
So what was all included in your starter pack?
Okay. Basically, I got 25 different cartridges. I got a charger. And I got 2 batteries and 2 atomizers, all for $52. And then after you added in shipping, it was 59 something. So basically, $60. You're gonna walk out. You're gonna have your initial, your initial fees, basically, of getting into this hobby, and it's really a good price. I mean, there's some people do not buy the e-cigarettes that are like $150. It's an outrageous price. You're paying way too much, and you're going to get a quality product with this, and it was only $60. So they're not that much better. No, I really don't. I don't think so. I mean, you can get some that might produce more vapor, have better throat hit, but they look ridiculous. I smoke this on my smoke break. I vape this on my smoke break, and I don't want to look like a complete tool out there with, these. There's this guy out there that vapes one as well, and his is like this long,
like when the 1950s.
Yeah, he looks like
like the Dick Tracy cigarettes.
Yeah. And he's like, let me have my martini, and I can't stand it. It looks goofy to me. So
this is pretty cool though. Now the flavors are awesome because there's such a wide variety. And what's sad is like the first time you brought this over, I think that we had like quadruple this many flavors. So you've obviously been using it. And I see the banana's almost gone, but I'm smoking banana. Red Bull, and it's actually really cool. And sadly this could be construed as kind of more geared towards more our generation, the 18 to 34-year-olds. But man, this is really cool. Supposedly it's healthier, so I like that. Not getting any of the stuff unknowns. And I know you mentioned you don't wake up smoking or coughing any longer,
right? And
no severe bronchitis. So yeah, I like this a lot. This is for a non-smoker. I think this is really cool,
and for smokers as well. It might be a way for, especially people who are trying to quit. It's not going to help you, quit smoking. I mean, it's still a habit, but what I like is the actual, how do I say this? The oral fixation. I know he's probably going to love this, but oral fixation.
We all know Alice's oral fixation. His wife loves it.
It's just the habit of actually, taking the cigarette or the e-cigarette in and, exhaling it. It does change things. So,
well, you can eventually order it with no nicotine and still have this to play around and act like you're smoking, and actually not get any nicotine, but just get whatever flavor you ordered.
Right.
And I bet that would have a lot less throat hits. So that's it. So what's your final review? Can we get a rating?
Out of 10, I would give this a 8. out of 10. But that's just my initial review. Once I get more units, I'm probably going to buy 3 or 4 different ones, and then I'll be able to give a more extensive comparison.
Yep. And we should have another review coming here in about 12 days. So
yep, 12 days. So
we have a lot more of these coming. So we will find out. And thank you very much. This is the Local Geeks. I'm Atlas.
This is Nosto.
And we will see you guys later. This is the Yeti 510 from altsmoke.com. Check it out, guys. It's really cool.
All right. Peace.